Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 130. Today's date is February 6, 2022, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Sore. Much sore.
Getting a couple accents, didn't you?
Yeah. So we'll start with the non-Minecraft life of Duds. It started Tuesday morning. We were moving one of those big filing cabinets that's fireproof.
Mm-hmm.
And it got dropped on me. Like, straight up, Duds got squished. They weigh about 700 pounds, is what we looked up to see. It was 700 pounds empty, and then this filing cabinet was full. So, much pain all week. I started to feel better Saturday. And then I go to the hockey game, and they had real tight bleacher-style seats, and it had the seats with the flappy seat, as I call it. I call them baseball seats.
Yeah, they just flap up.
Yeah, the real cheap plastic seats. Well, me and my dad walked around the backside of where our seats were, because there's like 20 people in the row. We'd have to ask to move to get to our seats. You know, you do the whole just kind of like hop over the back of the seat. Well, it was a little bit further down than I realized, and I'm not the tallest person in the world. I'm like 5'10". So I put my left foot on the edge of the seat to open it up, and then I put my right foot down on the seat. And then when I did that, a lady was walking by us again, and she bumped me. And when she bumped me, I got off balance, and my right foot went down between the seat and the backrest. And then when that happened, the weight came off the back of the seat. So all the weight on the front of the seat pushed it back down again, and I basically trapped my ankle in the seat. And I mean, it's cut, bruised, swollen.
You didn't fall down there?
Didn't fall down. I stayed standing.
Kind of pinned you up, because of the seat.
Yeah, I was basically stuck in my own bear trap.
Yeah, it's a good reference.
Yeah, I was like, man, I just want to not hurt. Can I not hurt for a little while?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah. But Minecraft, I built a cactus farm that turned out pretty, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I brought over some storage silos from Ripple Effect Season 3. I like to do this every year. I bring some aspect of an older build from the previous season into the new season as a way to kind of connect and reflect, as I call it. And so I brought over these storage silo awnings that I used in my storage mountain last season. And used different kind of pallets, so it looks a bit different. It's not the exact same, but it's clean, and I like it, and it's going to give me room to store sugarcane, carrots, and potatoes. The cactus farm is going to act like a giant pool catching everything.
Mm-hmm.
So all the other farms are going to be kind of hidden away in the mountain like I did with the automatic version of the wheat farm. And then all the items are just going to dump into this pool of cactus. And then we'll get filtered through the system.
Yeah.
And then is going to get shipped all the way to the iron farm so the overflow can get converted into bone meal.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be a crazy little system.
I always enjoy making those, item transportation areas. I always have fun doing that.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
Got your ice paths.
Well, exactly. I'm not going to use that many hoppers.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the least amount of hoppers possible.
Fun to use the ice too.
Yeah, it's kind of a challenge I set up for myself. It's like, don't use more hoppers than you need.
Right.
I'm going to do that. But yeah, I think I'm calling it the Farming Storage Conglomerate or whatever. And then on a more fun, less technical note, Winter gave me a new
task.
I don't want to say topic. Yeah, task to do. So I'm writing up a bit of a cinematic for that. That'll hopefully be in this episode.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Again, none of my cinematics are going to be super long. This is going to be less than 5 minutes, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to aim more funny on this one than the previous one.
Yeah, those are always fun to do, the cinematics.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you get it in your head, you try to put it on screen.
Exactly.
Not always works, but sometimes you get it. My week,
Yeah.
We did a live stream yesterday. Mm-hmm. We're still live streaming. Ripple Effect live stream day.
Yep, that's going on right now as we're talking.
Yes, but show. Got to do the show.
Yep.
You'll be streaming later.
I will be streaming this afternoon.
I built a moss farm in my live stream. Actually, 2 of them.
Yeah.
I didn't get the second one to work towards the end, but as soon as I got done streaming, I went back and found the issue, and it's a pretty simple fix. But now I have 2 working moss farms back to back. I can't remember the creator who made it. It's a weird name. I haven't even heard it pronounced yet, so I'll have to remember that. Maybe we can get a link in there, but
yeah, I looked it up last night. It's definitely not the one me and Decoy have used.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the one we used, but it's not the same guy.
Yeah, I wanted a moss farm that had like all the inner workings below it, just so you can see everything going on. Some of them have like a moss block that sits above the moss breaking area, and I didn't want that just because it looked like it distorted the view a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I found one that worked great that would fit in there, actually fit 2 in there where I needed it, and pretty happy with the way it went. Now I have to design, around this thing. I have a pretty big open area, and this is the first time I'm actually building walls up on this floor. So in order to do those walls, I got to figure out the walls on my upper floor, which is a pretty big room. It's a huge room, actually. So that's the next part. And designing walls is not very easy, and we'll talk about that later.
Yep.
But yeah, it's one of our main topics, actually. But I built these moss farms because I have a big wood farm, pretty much. I get all the 1x1 trees, all those trees.
Yeah.
And I need a lot of bone meal to use this farm, so I made these moss farms in the back, and I had to rewire everything. The way the tutorial had it is pretty simple, like the way they did it, but I had to change a bunch of stuff. I had to put the lever on my side to turn them on. I had to filter out all the items in the bone meal, and then I could hit a lever to where I stop that, and then I'm collecting the moss products. Mm-hmm. So that was a lot of fun to do. I've been having a lot of fun using the redstone, and it's my redstone, which makes you even more proud.
Yeah, I always like when you feel like you've created something that functionally works without using any other tutorials.
Right. It's nice to know some circuits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been using ice streams too. But I have a ton of hoppers. Just because they're so close together and I have so much redstone, I didn't want to use too much water in that little compact area. I pretty much have hoppers to move around the items, but once they get out of that area, they're in a water stream.
Yeah.
That's how I had to do it. But quick tip before we get to our tips about building, use composters over your hoppers. It reduces lag.
Yes.
If you have open hoppers.
Yeah. It was furnaces for the longest time, and then they found composters are actually more functional and reducing the lag.
Yeah, I made sure I did all that. But now I'm done. Like I said, I got a lot of designing to do, it could be a little frustrating, but we'll elaborate a little bit more later.
Yeah, but first, the news, because we actually have some news this week.
We do.
Not a lot of Java news. Java guy is moving slow, but we got a snapshot for Java. Snapshot 22W05A. They're mainly focusing on more bugs and stuff. Mm-hmm. But they made a change to the Badlands in a way to make it fit more, I shouldn't say more, to fit better between the biomes surrounding it. Mm-hmm. And that was coming in, I think, the 118.2. And turns out it didn't. So they just kind of like reverted everything right back.
Oh.
So the chunk borders weren't having fun, from what the notes said. So
yeah. Some
of the bugs that they're fixing, though, a visual water bug, which I was having tons of fun with yesterday.
Yeah, that was much needed for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a visual thing. The water still did what it did. Mm-hmm. But yeah, visually, it wasn't very...
Yeah. So if you had 2 strips of water running in the same direction on 2 different Y levels within a block of each other, the lower Y level would curve up and touch the upper Y level. And it shouldn't have done that. That's not the way. Water does not defy gravity in Minecraft, or it's not supposed to.
Yeah, they seem to try to connect to each other, even if they're like in adjacent blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much above each other or whatever.
Yeah, even in the adjacent blocks.
Anywhere close, man, they try to connect, and that's one bug that they fixed. So hopefully we'll get that soon. Will you have to change everything around again?
No.
Your Cactus Farm? Okay.
No. Like I said, it's all visual.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And a lot of people were like, doesn't know how to make a Cactus Farm. It's like, no. The farm was functional before I started playing with it yesterday. I wanted the water to look good. That's what was the problem.
Yeah, you got it pretty open.
Yeah.
To see all that.
It's a rather large thing. Like, I think it's like 22 blocks long. So getting water to flow from one side to the other without using a massive amount of signs and stuff. A lot of people were like, use slabs. Like, we can't use slabs because the cactus will fall on the slab and not get washed away. So it's like, yeah, you had to think about it a little bit. And honestly, there was a much better way to do it than I did. The problem was I didn't want to move the water elevator that hooks up to the filters because that was in a really, really good spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have made it 10 times easier on myself if I just moved that elevator.
Just couldn't do it.
I couldn't physically. I was just like, I'm not doing this. I'm not moving the water source right next to all this redstone.
Yeah, I don't know how many times messing with that moss farm I broke into the water.
Yep.
And there it comes. Let's go fix the redstone.
Another bug that a lot of people are giving a little visual notice to is campfires and hoppers cause chunk saving issues. I hear it called a performance bug fix, so hopefully that's it. I don't know if that means like if you have a hopper or a campfire in a chunk, it's just constantly save.
Yeah, it'd be a chunk loader.
Yeah.
That's what feels like it's saying.
Mm-hmm. Another reason I'm using as little hoppers as possible.
Yeah, hopefully if they fix that, the hopper lag will be even lesser.
Mm-hmm. But I want to jump into a tweet before we jump into our beta update.
Okay.
There was a tweet from Corey. Corey, we've had on the show. And it was a tweet of trapdoors. And it just says, just your average trapdoor picture. Now, this is Mojang. And when they say stuff like that, they don't mean that because they're a bunch of trolls. They like to troll us. They know we're looking for every pixel. And sure enough, there's like 5 pixels in this image that looks like a different color trapdoor. At least that's what I'm guessing. Honestly, it feels more like the same color of a redstone lamp to me, but
okay.
We know we're having mangrove trees come. That's in the wild update, so it could be that it's just a mangrove trapdoor that's hidden behind there.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that tweet actually.
I'll have to find it and show it to you. It's just a strip of 5 pixels that show a different color shading. And it's about the same color shading of the outline of a redstone lamp.
Does it have trapdoors in front of it?
Oh yeah, he's got all the trapdoors lined up in a row.
Okay.
And you're basically having to look through one of the trapdoors to see the little pixelation.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Haha. Mid-show. Got it.
Mid-show.
Got it on mid-show. Kind of curious. Yes. We getting new trapdoors? Or no, is that you? You questioning it?
I'd assume we're getting a new trapdoor because we're getting mangrove trees. So I'm assuming we're getting mangrove tree trapdoors.
Yeah, of course. And doors.
Yeah.
Along with it.
And doors.
Yeah. They know. They know we're getting them. They're just asking.
Yeah. There's nothing out of the reach. To me, it's just Mojang being trolls like they like to do. So I'm excited. The shade of color is a bit different, which is nice. The crimson wood was too vibrant for me to be like an option. So if the mangrove is going to be a bit red, I think that might be cool. I really like the color of jungle wood. I know some people don't, but like jungle trapdoors are some of my favorite trapdoors. Spruce is the most useful. Like spruce is the all around, can be used just about anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, a jungle trapdoor, when you use it right, chef kiss.
Yeah, I really like the trapdoors that you can have a little bit of transparency to them.
Yeah.
You could see behind them. I really like to use those in builds. Spruce doesn't have that, but...
If you get the 3D spruce trapdoor from Vanilla Tweaks,
right,
it's really nice because it does have a good 3D effect.
That's true.
My least favorite, though, is what is it?
Birch?
The chocolate bar, dark oak.
Yeah, I've been wanting to use it too, and I'm like, I want to, but I want the color, but I can't use that chocolate.
It just looks like a chocolate bar.
I'm sure there's ways to use it.
So Casey's listening live. One of the perks of being a patron is you get to listen live and comment while we're talking. And he mentions, looks like we could be having a recipe change as well. Looking at the comment from Gemini Tay on that tweet. Well, I mean, they should.
For the trapdoor?
Yeah. Because think about it. 6 wood can make 3 doors. And then it's 6 wood to make 2 trapdoors, right?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
I mentioned that a while ago, how expensive they are.
And all this can be changed if we had a wood saw like we have the stone cutter.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even worry about changing the recipe as long as it does what the stone cutter does. Give me a 1-for-1.
Right.
Or a 2-for-1 in the case of slabs.
Should get many trapdoors out of 1 piece of wood.
Right. At least 2. At least 1 plank should give me 2 trapdoors.
Similar to a slab because it's even smaller than a slab. It's just got some functionality.
Exactly.
They're going to put redstone into it, watch. Into the recipe.
It is in the redstone section of the creative inventory.
It's going to be even more blocks. You have 6 pieces of wood and redstone. Keep complaining, guys. We'll throw some hinges in there.
Oh, you guys want to keep complaining? Guess what? Quartz hinges.
Netherite hinges to make trapdoors.
Oh, netherite trapdoor. Could you imagine how heavy that would be?
Yeah.
I would want it to make a thunk every time it closed. Like the screen shakes just a little bit.
Yeah, now that you think about it, only iron has the door and trapdoor out of all the metals.
Yeah.
Only iron.
Well, a copper and gold door, that's such a soft metal.
Yeah, that kind of wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, you could punch a hole in it.
I'm just thinking new blocks, but...
Yeah.
Doors, no. Trapdoors would be cool to see, but... Yeah, functionality, I guess it wouldn't make sense.
I would love, like, a netherite door and trapdoor, but if they want to keep it as rare it is, it doesn't really make sense to do that, so...
Right.
One of the other... We're kind of moving into the Bedrock realm of updates now. But Bedrock is finally getting something like snapshots. They've had beta for forever. The problem is, if you load a beta on your world, there's a good chance it could corrupt and you lose your world. So it's not the smartest thing to do.
No.
And some people just can't even do betas. I don't know if it's the programs. I'm not fully into the Bedrock realm, so I don't know if I'm using my phone, so I can't load a beta on my phone or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it entails.
They're getting like a whole new launcher called Minecraft Preview.
Ah.
That'll allow them to try out the betas without worrying about ruining the world. Now, I think they can take world saves and put it in the preview. Casey's also saying, so betas are Windows and Android only at the moment. Yeah, so that's what I was reading up on that I wasn't understanding. But as far as I can tell, preview is everything. Everyone can now access the preview. And it's a whole nother program or launcher.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Already got so many Minecraft launchers.
Dude, we got that new launcher and I still don't use it.
I don't use it either.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I know how. I don't know if I've tried it.
For me, it takes 2.5 minutes to load Minecraft with that launcher.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't tried it.
I think I did it on stream one day. Like the game crashed or something. And I'm like, hey guys, watch this. I'm going to close Minecraft all the way and we're going to open it and I'll show you how long it takes. It was like 2.5 minutes just to get up to the point where I can choose the ripple effect server.
Yeah, I can go make a cup of coffee in that time.
Yeah, so I went back to the old launcher. But let's get into the Bedrock beta because they're the ones getting all the new stuff.
Yeah, we got a little bit there. Eventually we'll get it, but
yeah,
this is what to look forward to.
Lots of update to frogs. Lots of update to frog animations. They're increasing tadpole health, stuff like that. Oh, you can breed frogs with slime balls now.
Right. I saw that. That's a weird
It's a weird thing.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. I mean, you get it. You got the frog lights coming, and that's with magma cubes.
Mm-hmm.
And they mention before you can farm slimes with these frogs. They do devour, I think, the small ones, right? Not the big ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, they eat the small ones. So I guess that would be it. Slime balls.
Yeah, but I always thought we were feeding frogs with fireflies.
Firefly, yeah.
So are fireflies just not going to be in the game now?
I don't know. I have a theory with fireflies.
Yeah?
They didn't give us a light block with those, right?
We got the frog light.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was talking about the
fireflies? No.
The fireflies, yeah. I was thinking maybe you can make lanterns with those, but they like pulse. So you have a light like kind of pulsing.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much of a flicker, but like a firefly kind of light.
I got you. So it like, let's say it produces light level 6.
Mm-hmm.
It's like light level 6 for 2 seconds, and then light level 0 for 1 second, and then light level 6 for 2 seconds.
Maybe down to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, yeah, well, maybe go off, because that's what fireflies would do.
Mm-hmm. But it would also give you a chance to use that in a mob farm.
Yeah.
As a way to regulate.
Ooh. I never even thought about that. I was just thinking of a pulsing light. You don't have a pulsing light unless you manually do it with a redstone lamp. Anyways, we got Bedrock beta news. Just thought I'd bring that up. It's a theory I had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was supposedly frogs only use the jump animation now when they hit a jump goal sequence. It's just written in their code, and they'll jump on things like lily pads and stuff like that, but they're going to do that weird walking animation most of the time.
Yeah, they don't move too fast.
No.
I was hoping the jumping would have them move a little quicker.
Yeah.
Maybe if you have slime, you can attract them. That is a thing, you have slime in your hand. It does attract them because they breed with them now. Maybe they move a little quicker if you have something to lure them with.
Maybe. But talking about breeding, we have frog spawn updates. These are the frog eggs that we were just like, are they talking about the spawn egg? Are they talking about eggs? Are they talking about... So frog spawn is the physical birth of frogs in the game.
Tadpoles. Yeah.
Tadpoles. And they look like glow lichen, but round.
Yeah, a little bit. They don't glow, but yeah.
Right. So they can get... They're talking about how many different ways you can destroy these things now. Like, you can break it with a piston. You can break it with a water source.
Well, if there's no water source under it.
When you remove the water source.
Yeah. Got to be on water. Mm-hmm. Kind of curious if, like, you can put it on a half slab that's waterlogged.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if that's a thing.
Yes.
It is a thing?
Frog spawn can now be placed on waterlogged blocks.
Okay. It's right there in the notes. There it is.
It's right there in the notes.
I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. If you don't want to use them in the water, you want them in some other kind of build.
Yeah.
If you could figure out a way to use it in another build, there you go.
Yep. Frog spawn can now be destroyed by falling blocks.
Ooh.
There's a lot of ways to destroy this stuff now.
Pretty fragile.
Mm-hmm. Nothing about zombies walking on it or anything like that, though.
Right, yeah, I was going to mention that. You figure, sees the egg. Well, I mean, it's already so fragile. Maybe they're like, there's enough ways to break these.
Yeah. These things are going to die naturally anyways. The final bit of news we have is the goat horn, which I think we're still waiting on Java. Like, I don't even think you can get the goat horn in creative mode.
No, I've never got to mess with it.
Yeah, so the goat horn now has a cooldown in the beta, so you can't just constantly blow it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Not really sure the purpose yet. I have a feeling it has something to do with the warden.
Yeah?
Because let's face it, the warden's attracted by sound and stuff, so...
Yeah, you think blowing it would have it maybe paralyze him?
Yeah, maybe it's too loud for the warden.
Yeah.
So it freaks out a bit.
I could see that being a thing.
Yeah, so maybe if you're trying to escape the warden, you can blow the horn and it'll paralyze it for like 3 seconds, so you have a chance to get away.
But instantly aggro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that warden knows exactly where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And once it gets its senses back, it's going to chase you down.
You better hope that cool down, because there's a cooldown between horn blows. So hopefully you can get it blown again to get away before he gets you. So he moves pretty quick.
He does.
I mean, that's if that's what you use for. We're just assuming. It's a good thought, though.
Mm-hmm. And then let's hop into listener comments, because we had a few. One which we're going to end up using for the show topic.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to start off with, you guys filled out the thread of hotbars in the Discord. And some of you guys and your hotbars are nuts. Like, there's no organization in that. It's just random block after random block. It's just like, don't even have pickaxes in your hotbar. It's like, what are you guys doing?
I didn't get to see any of the hotbar pictures. What?
Yeah, there's a straight up thread. Carl created a thread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta click the thread.
All these threads. I don't know threads.
Yeah, Carl's all about some threads.
Yeah, there it is.
Some of you guys rocking tridents in your hotbar. What is that?
Oh, this one's a troll right here. He's got some lapis.
Creeper.
A boat.
Yeah, creeper, you troll. Nuts.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Dive clops, you got a fishing rod in your hotbar. There's no way you carry around a fishing rod in your hotbar all the time. You crazy.
I see it used pretty often on like PvPs, but
that's true. Brickit has a very close hotbar. Now they're using a texture pack, so I'm assuming the one next to the sword is a hoe, but it's relatively close to what both me and you have, except there's no bow in their hotbar. So they're a close combat kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
And WyreGuy running around with an elytra in his hotbar, because I guess in Bedrock you can hot swap from the hotbar, and you can't do that in Java.
Oh, okay.
If the slot's empty, you can just click and put it on.
Yeah, that's what you mean.
But if there's something already in that inventory spot, it won't work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know they could do that.
You guys got some crazy inventory setups.
But if that's how you like it.
I should have asked if any of you guys carry a clock in your inventory for a watch. Nobody's got any watches.
Nah, don't look like it. There's a compass, but not a watch.
There were compasses. You guys had enchanted compasses in your inventories. Well, I guess that makes sense, because most of our viewers are Bedrock players, and they don't have the F3 screen.
Mm-hmm.
So having an enchanted compass to tell you where home is makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's hop into a comment from MK Dogman. They ask, "Hey DuDs and Jimbo, I was wondering if you guys wanted Frostwalker on netherite boots to walk over powdered snow, because not from experience, but I've heard around that it can be quite annoying. Love the show. Hope to hear your thoughts. MK Dogman fell into powdered snow and froze to death." But I thought you said you didn't have experience.
This isn't a bad question.
No.
I had a Frostwalker last season, I think on my gold boots.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can walk freely across
magma
cubes. Or magma blocks with Frostwalker. Kind of makes it convenient. The only reason I don't use them in my everyday boot is because it could mess up
redstone,
water streams, and redstone. Yeah.
Yep.
Depending on where it is. Now, my place has water streams in certain areas below the floor where I could never go to my base. If I go to my moss farm and peek in the window, my boots might freeze the collection stream on my moss farms, and those would be so I have to go and fix those. So if you're dealing with redstone, Frostwalker is not your friend.
Yeah.
If you're in the nether, it can be more useful. But he's saying you can walk on powdered snow with Frostwalker?
No, you can walk on powdered snow with leather boots, and he's saying this as an option not to have the leather boots, but to make it where you can have it on netherite boots and not have to worry about the leather boots.
Okay.
And my response is that I wear gold boots all the time, so it wouldn't help me out much there either. And I agree with Jimbo. Frostwalker is annoying when you have redstone.
Mm-hmm.
It just constantly breaks things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't use it as of right now, and honestly, I don't know. I don't walk around those snowy areas as much anyway, so maybe I'll get a nice pair of leather boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably... Not often do I use Frostwalker.
Mm-mm.
I'm considering putting them in my nether boots, but I really don't need them. You know, as long as you shift, it's not a on the magma blocks. It's not a big deal.
Well, and if you're all decked out and fully enchanted netherite, going into the nether is not that big of a deal. You can basically murder anything that comes at you.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I wear the golden boots just because I can't be bothered to PvP something while I'm trying to work. It's just like, leave me alone.
I feel like netherite boots, you should get the freedom to walk across magma blocks because it's netherite, it's
they can't burn.
Fire, right. I feel like if you have those regardless of Frostwalker, you should be able to do that. But yeah, you need Frostwalker for that.
Hey, I've already talked about the Mojang sometimes doesn't make much sense, such as with the bubble vaders. Why does the soul sand, the block you sink into, push water up, but the magma block where heat rises pulls you down?
That's a good point. It's got to be a damage thing, but
yeah,
you take damage on the magma block when it's pulled.
Yeah,
makes more danger, I guess.
But it would make sense if a magma block is underwater that it can't hurt you because it's being cooled down from the water.
Yeah, they should probably switch those.
Just a little thing. Well, I can't switch them now. It would break so many things.
Oh yeah.
At least they made it where you can place kelp on soul sand now. You remember when we used to be able to not do that? You probably don't remember that.
What is it?
You used to not be able to place kelp on soul sand. So when you were making a bubble vader, you had to place like a random block down.
Yep, I remember that.
Do your kelp, then break it and then place the soul sand. And well, now you can just go ahead and just put it right on the soul sand. You don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did a couple of those last night. It was annoying, but
yep,
that was the rules.
I'll let you read the next question we have.
Okay, next question is from Lock-On4. They ask, so DuDs, Jimbo, big question here. So what if for some reason Mojang decides to shut down Minecraft Java Edition, but they will allow you to bring anything from Java to Bedrock? That includes offhand, mob spawns, redstone, and combat. What would it be? Just so you know, DuDs tridents deal more damage than diamond swords for Bedrock only, I think.
Yeah, you're not going to like my answer.
What is it?
DuDs would play a new game.
Ooh, it's like that.
The only way I would go to Bedrock is if it was one complete parity. That means everything I can do in Java, I have to be able to do in Bedrock. Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, trident killers, they're awesome and stuff. They're really not that, like, I don't want to say good because they are very good. It's not a big enough draw for someone who's on Java to drop everything they know on Java and go play Bedrock. There's so many bugs in Bedrock. You guys call it Bug Rock for a reason. Iron farms are completely unreliable and complicated. Villagers are blah. Yeah, you got beautiful render distance.
RTX.
Yeah, FragileRock, who's another patron listening live, mentioned that trident killers are just AFK clickers, which is exactly correct.
Yeah, without the clicking.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's really cool, the trident killer. But yeah, I mean, it's something that we don't have, and I feel like that's what's drawing us so much to the trident killer.
They're very cool, but they're not a big enough draw for me to drop everything.
Yeah, they are super cool.
Yeah.
It's different than anything we got in Java. But I think what he's asking is what's the one thing that Java has? How do I reword what he's saying? It's probably not good to reword a comment because he wrote the comment.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what's the most useful thing in Java that Bedrock doesn't have?
Iron farms.
So you would bring...
The iron farm mechanic in Java is 100 times better than the one in Bedrock. And I think even Bedrock players know that and they want that.
Yeah.
But the offhand abilities, we take those for granted so much.
Yeah.
Like, you know how when we're mending items, we just throw it on our offhand and the game knows to mend that item first?
Right.
They don't have that in Bedrock.
I use torches in my offhand more than anything. If I am mending things, I will do that occasionally. Well, especially mending things. But yeah, torches are the only thing I really have. Can you do that in Bedrock? Hold torches in your offhand?
Nope.
I think that's one thing. No?
Nope.
They don't have any offhand? Besides like the totem?
I think they can carry a shield.
Shield and totem? Only a few things, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing you guys need. My thing will probably... The most useful thing I use is the F3 screen. If Bedrock had the F3 screen, it would be very useful.
Yep.
I know some people find it cheaty, but, Java came out way before all this Bedrock stuff. So this is just how you play the game in my eye.
Exactly.
This is how you play the game. Bedrock is just another way to play the real game, which is Java.
Well, and that's why I would love in-game, like to get me to stop using the F3 screen, give me a physical journal that will constantly update with my coordinates, with a compass, with a map, and stuff like that. That I would use it. I would physically have a spot in my inventory. I would waste an inventory spot for this journal that would just have F3 screen information to keep from using the F3 screen.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to shy away from that, the F3 screen, trying to have some kind of parity there. So we'll see what they come up with, how to do that. I think they want like in-game items or tools to use to find the things you find on the F3 screen. Like maybe there's a tool to see how many entities are in this certain block.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know these things with the F3 screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what I would bring over.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Unless it's complete parity, Dud's gone.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're ever going to shut down the Java version.
Me neither.
To me, the Java version is, I don't want to say their moneymaker because, let's face it, the Bedrock version outsells. They have a marketplace. But the Java version is free advertisement for money making with all the YouTubers. You don't want to lose that free advertisement.
Yeah, a lot of the bigger Minecraft players do play Java.
But anyways, thank you guys for those questions. They were from our Discord, and it's the only place where you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take paragraph 8's word for it.
Hey there, I'm Para, and if you're enjoying the show and wish to get involved in the conversation, head over to the Withering Effect Discord. It's the best place to give your opinions on the topics discussed on the show, and who knows, you could even be mentioned on a future episode. Follow the link in the show notes and join today.
Thanks for the Discord ad, paragraph 8. Speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in the Mending Minecraft vote. This week we asked you to choose between one of 3 mobs for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were the Squid, Pillager, or Witch.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... the Witch, with 30 votes. Squid had 16 votes, and Pillager was 7. So yeah, pretty good win for the Witch. A few things I have here on the Witch. A Witch is an uncommon hostile mob that uses harmful splash potions as ranged weapons and beneficial positive potions on itself. They spawn in the darkness, in swamp huts, during raids, and when lightning strikes villagers. Villagers do transform into witches when hit with lightning. Witches drop a variety of items, including glass bottles, glowstone, gunpowder, redstone, spider eyes, sugar, and sticks. Also a chance of healing, fire resistance, swiftness, and water breathing potions. Not sure if I ever got a swiftness potion from them. Maybe.
I think I have. Long time ago.
Yeah, I didn't have a witch farm too long ago either. Oh, I think it's with looting you can get these. If it's just the witch drops, you're not going to get any potions. So yeah. Witches throw slowness, weakness, harming, and poison splash potions. That's for their offense. Witches can also take healing, water breathing, fire resistance, and swiftness potions. So yeah, they can speed themselves up if they wanted.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that.
So fixing witches. This is another one, guys, that I don't feel needs a lot of work. I think they're one of the more interesting mobs in the game. A lot of people were talking about, well, witches shouldn't attack villagers in the day and stuff like that. Witches don't attack villagers. Like, they're all neutral.
Right.
Because technically a witch is considered a villager, if that makes sense.
It's not, but similar.
It is, but it's not. They can't open doors like villagers.
Yeah. And the fact that they transform into witches pretty much means they were villagers.
Right. But yeah, witches don't see villagers as a threat. They don't throw bottles or anything at them. But trying to improve the witch, I thought there's a lot of this new scared mechanic that we're seeing pop up, especially with the nether mobs is when we really saw that, how some don't like warped fungus. We know creepers don't like cats. skeletons don't like dogs. And I thought, like, what would a witch be scared of? And then it came to me, fire. You hear all the lore of witches, and they get burned at the stake, which turns out not many witches in real life were burned at the stake, guys. But that you hear witches being burned at the stake all the time in movies and books and stuff. So what if witches were scared of fire? And I don't mean like a torch or a lantern or a candle, but like straight up fire. Like you flint and steeled the ground.
Right.
And that would prevent a witch from chasing you through there.
Yeah. There's also, well, I think it was Wizard of Oz, where the witch died because it had water on him.
Yeah, she melted from the water.
Yeah, from the water. So water could be another.
FragileRock just threw that in the live chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fire is a little hard because they have fire-resistant potions.
Oh, yeah,
so it's like, why would they be scared of fire if they have fire-resistant potion? But maybe they don't have fire-resistant potion now?
Yeah, they do have that potion.
Mm-hmm.
They even got water breathing, so they seem to be...
They're tanks!
They can get around fine. Yeah, they get around fine. They can buff themselves. They can weaken you.
Exactly.
Get their advantage. They can be a little difficult to deal with sometimes.
Yeah. And they have some of the most interesting drops in the game. Redstone, glowstone, sticks, spider eyes. I mean, bottles. Crazy amount of drops. Witches are awesome in Minecraft.
I'm curious where the sticks come from.
Well, they gotta stir the cauldron.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Jim was like, I didn't think about that one, dang.
But they can't, I don't know.
So, I was trying to think of what could be a fun drop from a witch, and I really want to see some more customization falling into Minecraft. It's like one of the most customized game out there, but armor and tools are so bland. And I know they're relying on us to use our own texture packs to come up with some of that creativity, but how cool would it be if you killed a witch and it had the chance to drop a witch's hat?
Ooh.
And maybe that gave you a little bit of a potion buff. So whenever you took a potion, the potions lasted a little bit longer. And I know this kind of goes against mending Minecraft, where I try not to add new things to the game. But witches are so cool already with their drops and their mechanics and stuff. This was one of the only ways I thought to make witches better.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Have a witch's hat.
I know. How cool would that be to be able to run around with a witch's hat?
I would like to see maybe a different reskin of the witch.
Okay, so like depending on the biome?
Could be. I was just thinking, when I think of a witch, I think, there's hair, long hair.
Mm-hmm.
And the witch seems to be bald, with the hat on top. I feel like if you added hair, it would make it look more witch-like.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's just my opinion. But yeah. I mean, when you look at it, I never think witch. If anything, it's more warlock.
Yeah. And FragileRock, yes, there are witches' hat in dungeons.
They are.
That's another area where I get my ideas. I need to pick dungeons back up and keep playing some more of it.
Is there any other potions you'd give the witch? I think it's got plenty. Actually.
I actually had thought about levitation as a potion.
Okay.
As being, because I don't think you can you have a levitation potion?
No.
Right now?
Just slow falling.
Yeah, right. It's only the shulkers. Yeah, you can get slow falling. But what if a witch could now throw a levitation potion at you?
Yeah, maybe find a way to collect them as she's throwing them.
Yeah, exactly. And I decided against that because it would be giving the same fighting properties as a shulker.
Right.
So it didn't really make sense to have two things in the game that could do the same thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's kind of it for my mending Minecraft. Witches are OP.
Yeah, witches are pretty unique. I like the fact that they're spawning in with the raids now, and they help the fellow raiders. I always thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice touch.
I always wish like the wandering trader might act like a good witch. So if a wandering trader's near you while you're in battle, they rush over and throw a potion of healing on you or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And they're not always around too, so it'd be like not much of a chance of it.
Exactly.
Even if you had him there to help, he's not going to be there long because they always despawn.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool mechanic.
And you probably already got your free leads out of them anyways.
Probably already salty about the llamas. Now he's got to help you in battle.
Yeah. But let's hop into our main topic, which is a listener comment that we thought would make a pretty good topic. Mm-hmm. And this one's from OL2808. They mentioned their names. Oscar. Oscar asks, "Hey Duds and Jimbo, my biggest obstacle when it comes to Minecraft is building and more specifically how things look within my world. I was wondering if you have any tips on how to stop my walls looking so flat, as this really frustrates me to the point where I just quit the game. Your help would be appreciated." Oscar, it's a good topic.
Yeah.
Building tips and tricks, I think, is something everyone is looking for, especially if you're relatively new in the game.
I think we're still looking for them.
We still do. And see, that's one thing that's kind of frustrated me in the Minecraft YouTube community lately, is a lot of the bigger YouTubers are not focusing on building, they're focusing on shenanigans and hanging out and stuff, which can make for fun content, but it's not content I'm interested in. So it's probably great for their views and stuff, but it's not great for me. Because I'm there for the builds.
Yeah, and in a place you want to call home, there's nothing better than having that perfect look. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I nailed the walls. I love being here. This is, my sanctuary and something I built, and there's nothing better than that.
And see, I have that problem with my spawn house right now. The interior of my spawn house, I love it. I think it worked out perfectly. The exterior, I felt like I rushed. And it doesn't feel complete.
Usually goes the opposite.
Yeah, it doesn't feel complete to the point where I'm constantly fighting the urge to rip part of it down and rebuild it.
Wow.
Yeah, but let's start with flat walls, because that's specifically what the question asked me. And I have a great, what I call, rule to stop flat walls. And it's a rule of 3. And obviously, rules can be bent and mended into ways to get to fit the build, but I've got a rule of 3. You're either going to use 3 different textures on the wall, or you're going to use 2 textures and 1 depth, meaning you put a block in front of the wall, so the wall feels like it's got a deeper thing. If you're using 2 deep, you only need 1 texture. If you have no deep, you need 3 textures. If you're doing 3 deep, I don't know what you're doing. You can't have any textures there. The rule says.
Yeah, I think it depends on size. The bigger it is, the more depth you want to give it.
Yes, that too.
Smaller walls, like trapdoors, are good for these, giving it just a little bit of more depth on smaller surfaces.
I use that in the interior of my house.
I picked up your checkerboard pattern for my walls. Different blocks, of course, but I really like the checkerboard look. It's kind of flat, but with 2 different details, it gives it a little bit more depth. Even though it's flat, it still looks good.
But your walls are a perfect example of the rule of 3.
Yep.
You have a checkerboard pattern, which is 2 different texture variations, but then you have
dark prismarine.
The dark prismarine, which gives you 1 depth. So you're following the rule of 3 to the T. And it works really well.
Yeah, it's nice to, or at least on the exterior, if you have a wall and it's too flat, it's nice to put some kind of pillars right beyond those.
Yeah. If a wall looks flat, throw a pillar up. Jimbo's exactly correct.
Mainly on the ends. The pillars go real well on the ends. It's not a bad idea to throw them up in between though also.
Yeah. Block palettes are another thing you should work with. Block textures that have depth. Brick is one, stone brick, deep slate brick.
Tiles.
Those 3 brick styles all have depth built into them. Always mix them up with a cracked variant. If you're using the red brick, granite is a great one to mix in there because you don't have cracked red brick.
Right. Yeah, and that goes with any block, really.
Yeah.
Throw some different variations in there. If you have too much brick, throw some cracked in there. Throw some regular stone. I think stone, just regular smooth stone and brick, look great together.
Regular stone, andesite, the non-polished kind, works really well.
Yeah. We've been using, for our paths, gravel and andesite. Those 2 together.
Gravel and andesite for paths are really nice.
Yeah. And it's just 2 different variations, Yeah. But it's nice to, when you do make these variation blocks, to make it, sometimes people get too random when they place these. You want it to kind of make sense. You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
There's a crack somewhere, so you want, your cracked variations in a certain area kind of together.
Yeah.
But try to think about where it goes a little.
Yeah, if you want to use a bit of the mossy stone brick or mossy cobble, the thing about that, moss is going to tend to be more towards the ground level of the build. You won't have mossy versions always on a roof.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're putting a lot of leaves on your roof, then a mossy cobblestone or a mossy brick would make sense there. But if you have a clean, pristine roof, it doesn't make sense for a mossy block to be there.
Right. And you had an interesting take on leaves that I actually used on my build.
Yeah, there are a couple kinds of leaves that work really well together. I found oak leaves and jungle leaves are relatively close texture-wise to each other, except jungle leaves have these little bulbs in them that I call they're little fruits inside their leaf texture.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So when you mix an oak leaf and a jungle leaf sparingly, it looks really good together. Also, azalea leaves, which is what Jimbo is using on his wood shop, do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're working with azalea leaves, throw in a flowering azalea leaf every once in a while. You don't need to overwhelm it. Jimbo did a really good job with that on his shop. And then a jungle leaf could make it seem like there's a little bit of life in the tree too.
Right. Yeah, I put my leaves down on my shop, and it looked good, but as soon as I added the jungle and a few of the flowering azalea leaves with it, it took it, definitely better. Made it look better.
Just a tiny detail that makes a huge impact.
Mm-hmm.
Birch and spruce leaves. Those two leaves work really well together.
Yeah, I've used those before.
Crimson and netherwort and warped wood, no.
Mm-hmm.
Though stripped warped wood and sandstone, very good together. Jimbo showed that off last season.
Yeah, sandstone seems to go with a variety of colors.
Mm-hmm. Sandstone and birch.
Yeah.
Look really good. Not birch logs. Birch logs just don't go with anything.
Yeah, that's a good variation of blocks.
Yeah. And talking about things that don't go with anything, glazed terracotta.
Yeah.
To me, I've only found glazed terracotta. The only way it works together is if you're doing a 2x2 section where you can align the pattern and then put blocks in front of it. So it's not the overwhelming front. Or if you're using, I think it's the black glazed terracotta and gray concrete, because they have relatively the same shade of color next to them.
Mm.
So they kind of work together.
Yeah, those are never easy to use, glazed terracotta.
Yeah.
I don't recommend them in walls.
No.
Yeah, any even amount would help.
Yeah, use blocks you wouldn't necessarily think to use them. Like I've used furnaces.
Right.
The back of a furnace has kind of a cool texture.
When you're building a library type of look, the back of a loom looks like an empty shell. There's a lot of blocks you can use that, you wouldn't necessarily build with that could just set a room off. Like you use the bee's nest in the floor.
Yeah. It looks like parquet flooring.
Right. And I think a smithing table in the floor makes it look like it's, I don't know. It's got a different look to that. It's like a slate floor.
It looks like a metal plated floor.
Yeah. But yeah, there's other blocks you could use.
The bottom of a smithing table, though, can make for a really interesting ceiling.
I noticed that. Yeah.
It's a gorgeous texture underneath the smithing table, and you just never see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's stuff like that in all kind of blocks, just if you're having trouble with those flat walls, try a block you'd never think of. A different side of that block might come up with something really cool.
Pistons, extended pistons, work really well as pillars too.
Yeah.
You got to hide the power source, but an extended piston, I used that in, Comic Craft Season 2.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. We did a little bit of floors, help with floors.
Well, like if you're putting together block palettes and you're not really sure if it's a good enough block palette, there's tons of websites dedicated to block palettes out there for Minecraft.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you can just Google Minecraft block palettes and you'll get picture over picture over picture of just people said, hey, all these blocks look really good together. Can you configure them in a way to make your build look good?
Mm-hmm. I'm actually using Endstone this season, trying to make it fit.
Mm-hmm.
I got it to where it fits. It just now I have to kind of go around that. go with that. I already got that in there. And it seems to go with a lot of different blocks, end stone.
Yeah.
The fact that it has stairs, slabs, and walls is what drew me in. And it's not a block I usually use, but I can get a lot of. So figured I'd go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make sure it's something when when you're building your design, a block that isn't hard to get, I guess. It definitely helps.
Yeah. Your main block should generally be a block that has multiple variants, like Jimbo said, with stairs and slabs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why deep slate is kind of the new king, because there's so many versions of deep slate out there.
Yeah. But what about ceilings? Do you have any tips for ceilings? I'm pretty sure we're both bad at those.
Yeah, ceilings are one of the hardest things I struggle with. I generally will try to design a roof around the ceiling so I don't have to do two. Like, you don't want to shoot yourself twice in making a project. So like my starter house, I struggled with the roof line so badly because I needed it to also function as a ceiling. And Aubni was able to help me come up with a great slope that I could work with ceiling wise. There's that. Thinking about your roof line when doing ceilings can also help.
Yeah.
I mentioned it in my last episode when doing my nether portal room that I started out with the ceiling in one shape and then I just kept sculpting it. Like, I was like, okay, this feels flat. Let's add a block here. Let's raise a block half a slab here. Let's lower it here. And I just basically kind of sculpted the roof in a different kind of pattern. And I can't describe it better than that because of how my mind works. I just kind of look at stuff. I go, that's too flat. I want a peak there. So I put a peak there. And to make a peak, you just kind of gently raised it half a slab until you got what you liked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, things with roofs that I noticed that needs attention is when you do your roofs, make sure to have some overhang.
Yes.
It helps give the walls depth, and make sure you use those upside down stairs on your roofs.
Mm-hmm.
When you bring your roof out for the overhang, you throw some upside down stairs in there. It makes it look more, I don't know, complete, I guess you could say.
My new favorite thing to do is to bring the overhang out 2 blocks, and then the block closest to the wall of the house, put trapdoors down there. So the trapdoors hang a little bit lower than the roof. So if you don't want to do the upside down stair, because if you have a smaller build, the upside down stair takes up a lot of room and takes up an entire full block.
Mm-hmm.
You can do trapdoors or a slab if you go out 2 blocks and then put that closest to the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, trapdoors are big friend in...
Yeah, super universal.
Anything you build. They can really set stuff off.
I think we've reached time, even with the mad craziness of Jimbo's internet dying halfway through the stream.
Yeah, we didn't get to mention that. Well, unless Carl put some of it in there. Right after the Discord ad, I lost connection and was gone for a good almost 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we found a way to come through.
Mm-hmm.
I hope those helped you, Oscar, some of those tips that we have.
Yeah. I don't want you rage quitting over a flat wall.
Yeah, there's different ways to make it work.
Think that's going to do it for today's show. Before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Aubni, ChiefBigBear, Crock, FragileRock, Casey Plays Games, OB, viperoustuna, and WyreGuy. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
If you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate and follow us so you never miss a future episode. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links will be in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys. And the winner, can you hear me? Can't hear me. Hello? Oh, my internet. What happened to my internet? Connection. Oh, my connection problems. You gotta be kidding me. Keep rolling, duds. I'll be back. Dude, come on, Comcast. How you gonna do me like that? Why don't I have internet right now? Bill's paid. I paid my bill.